Can you wait? I'm eating. The mic isn't even set up yet. Chill. Patience. The video is starting soon. Just let me finish my pizza. I bet you clicked on this video expecting me to teach you something about life. Grave mistake. On this channel, I only share my journey and how I deal with things, and if it accidentally teaches you something, accept my deepest apologies and please subscribe. I will cringe of that while I will be editing. Will it sound like the ASMR channels that I'm listening to? Let's get to the thing that works better than any other tips and tricks. At least for me. That's what works for me. Doesn't mean that it will work for you though. If it will, cool I guess. The thing with me is that my motivation was never working in the right way or the way that I was explained how the motivation should work for people, or at least for my family who were teaching me about those basic things. I realized very soon that everything that I need to do, even if it's something that I want to do, I need to trick myself into doing it. Like when you complete a level at some game, you gain some XP, you have new gear, you have a new skill. In my brain it works the same way. If I completed a task, I need a treat. I need something that gives me that boost. And a lot of the things that I need to do don't have that instant boost. It's kind of like more slow growing process. That doesn't work for my brain. If I don't have an instant gratification moment right after I completed something, I'm not completing it. That's why I struggle with most tasks. That's why I'm so quote-unquote lazy. Did you know that laziness actually doesn't exist? Laziness is just a made-up concept that is not real. Laziness is just a word with a negative connotation that describes lack of motivation, and lack of motivation can be just a symptom of something that's going underneath. We're not going into that because this video is not about how motivation works in general and what laziness is. I'm just a little salty about everybody who called me lazy ever, because that is not a thing. Laziness doesn't exist, and it's just a myth that just made me feel bad about myself throughout my whole life. And I still call myself lazy because of habit. Laziness is just made up. No, nobody is actually lazy. You cannot be lazy. Most people who are lazy are, for example, depressed. They physically cannot do the thing, or they're overwhelmed. They have some underlying mental health conditions, or simply they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, something that they actually do not want to do. They're doing it for some other people, and that makes them lazy. I still went on a rant about laziness, even though I said that I won't do that. So, what exactly is that mysterious thing that works better than any tip, any trick? It's accountability. There are two types of accountability: the one that works and the one that fucking doesn't. You would think, okay, accountability should work every time. It's just accountability. But no, accountability has two sides. For example, for a lot of people, somehow, posting something on social media and saying that I will do this already works as accountability, but for me it doesn't. It's too broad. It's like I'm throwing something in the air, hoping that somebody would catch it. I don't feel the weight of that accountability. But let's go to the accountability that doesn't work, that is more personal. First of all, it's an uninterested friend. An uninterested friend is somebody who doesn't share the same goal, for example, or who is not interested in that topic in general. So naturally, they won't be actually holding you accountable. They're like, oh yeah, sure, I will do that, and they do not do anything. They also don't gain anything from it in a way. They're not that personally invested in my success in that department, so why would they invest their time and effort into it? Imagine that friend who is not that interested, who is not doing the same thing, is actually taking it seriously, and they have a little bit of a big sister or a mom vibe. What they might start doing is overexcited accountability thing. They're constantly nagging, constantly guilt tripping.
You should remember that you wanted to become super snatched for the summer, and summer is already here, so
that also doesn't work for me, because I just get annoyed. Instead of getting motivated to do the thing, that negativity and that nagging just triggers me. So now you're like trying to make me do something because I feel bad about it. Now I will for sure not do it exactly because you're making me feel bad about it. No. Never works. And another thing that doesn't work is with a person who actually is on the same path as I am, is somebody who is too far ahead. If I'm just starting to go to the gym and I want to start going regularly, so when the friend who is a little bit too far ahead is saying, oh, I can be your accountability partner, I'm like, yay, amazing. You're the same as me, like you want to do the same thing. I know that you want me to remind you some stuff about this, so like we can help each other out. Yay, amazing. But then the problem is they've been going to the gym at least 3 times a week for 5 years now. And for them, it's not that big of a deal to get ready and go to the gym. It's more that they struggle going every day, maybe, but they are not struggling with the whole thing of going to the gym. So they don't need me as much as I need them to remind me that or to motivate me. I just need to kind of remind them, oh, do you remember we're going to the gym every day, not every other day, not 2 times a week? That's all they need. And I need more of a like, oh, do you remember? Why do you want to go to the gym? And that becomes very ineffective very fast. It's unbalanced. And again, that person probably doesn't understand how much motivation and accountability I need compared to them. They only got that part that I want to go to the gym every day. So that is the gist of like going to the gym, I guess. I don't know why that exact topic. Probably because I started going to the gym more and I signed up for another gym. That accountability doesn't work. The one that works is hard to find. I'm telling you that right away, right off the bat. It is super rare to find a person like that. I am yet to find an accountability partner who would do that for me and who would be that for me and who would need me in the same capacity as I need them. And what is that partner? First of all, this is a person with the same goal. You talk to that person and the way they describe what they want to do hits home. They have the motivation to find somebody who will make them do it, if that makes sense. Like they really need accountability because they understand that just doing it on their own didn't work out already. So basically they have a similar background with the same goal, that they struggle to achieve it on their own without being accountable to somebody. And the next thing that is connected to it is that they have the same exact struggle. If I struggle to even get up and go to the gym, it's not even like I want to go regularly, but I am okay going once in a while. I cannot come to a place where I don't need to make myself go to the gym. And they have the same thing. So we already know that if we are becoming accountability partners, that is the thing that we need to motivate each other on. We need to motivate each other to even go there. And the last, but not the least important, don't get me wrong, I feel like it's the key moment. The accountability partner must be in competition with me. We need to be having like a little race, a little competition. Who does it better? Who is better at conquering this goal? They shouldn't be too good because that sets them back to the somebody who's too far ahead. If for them it's too easy to fight the struggle, the race won't work. But if I feel like we're going in the same pace, but sometimes I am going faster and sometimes they're going faster, sometimes I need to nudge them, sometimes they are nudging me, sometimes we join forces and we are going to the gym together today because that is the only way. Girl power. Well, it could be a guy, but girl power. That is what works. And that is incredibly hard to find. Okay, but why did I say, first of all, that advice doesn't work? Advice doesn't make anything different. Giving advice is useless. There are a few different things about the advice and how it works for my head. And I connected with ADHD. You tell me if you have ADHD and you also have a little bit of a struggle with advice and following it. Let me know, because maybe I'm wrong and it's not connected to ADHD and it's just my fucked up personality. maybe it is connected with ADHD and how our brains process things. Most advice that you can come across on the internet or what most people will give you, it doesn't work for an interest-based nervous system. It works for neurotypicals because their nervous system, their motivation system, is not interest-based. It's necessity-based. They know that they need to complete some set of tasks to achieve something. And the only advice they need is like, I don't know, the most practical way to do it. I don't know many advice because I don't keep them in my head. That's another thing. If you give me an advice and I didn't write it down, I will forget that it even happened.
And if I write it down, I might forget that I wrote it down.
And then 5 months later, I will find it in my notes app and I will be like, what was that about? It's out of context. Why did I even write it down? If you try to follow that advice that is for neurotypical people, you find out very soon that there is no cookies at the end of the trail that my brain needs because of lack of the dopamine that I get from just making the thing. In the moment, I might be very, very inspired by it. I might be like, oh, that is the next tip. That is the next thing that I will try. For sure, this will be a part of my routine now. Love this. And when it comes to the moment where I kind of need to implement that advice, the desire to do the thing, to try the advice, isn't there. Just not there. That like little glimpse of motivation that I was giving by that advice is gone because I wasn't fast enough to implement it. I wasn't in the situation to implement it right now, and so I didn't. And so I never even tried it out. Maybe it would work. The last thing that I want to say about the advice part is that a lot of the times I get caught up in looking for more and more advice, like collecting information, watching 5,000 videos on the same topic, describing how to plan my week in the Google Calendar, how to time block, another time blocking tip, how to get more things done. My brain thinks that while I'm getting that information, I'm actually getting the thing done. And so when I'm done watching all of that content, I don't have any power in me anymore or any will anymore to actually do it. That is the trap. That is a very common trap that if you're talking too much about something that you want to achieve, or if you're watching too much of educational content, your brain perceives it, or my brain perceives it at least, as that thing being in the process, being done. While I'm talking about it, I already done it. So I don't need to do it anymore. All of the motivation, all of the desire to do it, poof, gone. Thus, accountability works way better. When you're a creative person with ADHD, you either have to accept the reality that your life will always be chaos, you will never be able to organize yourself, you will always have a very fleeting interest range about some topics, or you need to figure out a way to be your own stalker. Stalk yourself to the point that you know how to manipulate yourself into doing things. And when you know how to manipulate yourself into doing things, then you need to start strategizing about it. You need to be very smart about it. So the person you're stalking wouldn't actually notice that you are stalking them, that you're trying to manipulate them into actually achieving their goals and following their dreams. Which one do you choose? Being a stalker or chaos? Chaos or being a stalker? Never ending struggle. I'm dying of heat.